Peace, world. How you doing? It's your brother Mikey Fever. Welcome to another episode of NYP Talk Show on this Tuesday. Hope everyone is having a great day. Hope everyone had a great day, and we're happy to be here with you. We got the brother Aleem Bey who will be joining us shortly. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe. We got super chats. The website is up. A lot of things are in the pipeline. We're going to grow this podcast. Without you, none of this would have been possible. And we appreciate every viewer, every listener. Don't forget to run up the likes and keep it going. Share with a friend. Let them know that we are here. Shout outs to all the other platforms doing their thing. Shout outs to my brother Ron Brown. Peace to all the guests that we had on the show. What's going on? Let me know where you guys are from in the comment. Which state you are viewing us from. Where are you listening? Holla at me as we over here waiting for our good brother to come in. We got a special show tonight. He will be going deep into some high science, dealing with some intergalactical stuff of ancient stargates, the hidden signs of our bloodline. You know, a new perspective for us to listen and observe, take notes. You know, oh man, it was one of those long days, a little exhausted, but we here. We're just waiting on the good brother Aleem to come in. So bear with us. Peace to who was in the chat? Devaron Folike Sr. Peace to you. And let's wait for our good brother Aleem to come in. Just here chilling. Oh man. See what's going on. The brother may be experiencing some technical difficulties, as he said. So let's see what happens. Apologies for the inconvenience, y'all. You know, dealing with this technology stuff could be a bit difficult. Islam to you, brother. Salam, Islam. Who's that? Oh man, let me just put these comments on the stage so I don't butcher your names. I don't want to butcher nobody's name. Yeah, it does happen. Technical difficulties do happen. Peace. They do happen. We're just waiting for the good brother to hop on. I would play some music on here, but you know, these copyrights don't want to get slammed with no copyrights and stuff. So as we wait here, let's just hope the brother is able to connect.
Bluetooth connected.
Guess the brothers connecting right now. Apologies for that. I see Aleem showing up. Peace, peace, peace.
Praise God.
Please God. I see he has some slight technical difficulties
Bluetooth
over there.
disconnected.
Yeah.
Oh man. Sorry about that, man. How you feeling, God?
Doing good. How are you?
All is well, man. All is well, man. You know, it's Tuesday.
Right.
You know, second day of the week, man. Happy to have you here, God. Looking younger than
Appreciate that.
ever.
Appreciate that.
You looking younger. You looking young, man. So, Aleem, man, it's a pleasure to have you here. I know you got a book out, and you know, I know this topic correlates with your book right here. So, we'll
Right.
be
It
talking
does.
tonight about the ancestral Stargate, the hidden science of our bloodline.
Right. The book is called Planetary Genesis, Stargate DNA, and
Mm-hmm.
Human Extraterrestrial Origin.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. That's peace right there. So, I got the first question I have for you. Let me know if is my mic too loud. Oh, we
No, it's
good.
good. It's good.
All right, perfect. So basically, the first question is, what does ancestral Stargate DNA mean in relation to Black people?
All right. About 60% of Moors here in America, so we could say so-called Black people,
Mm-hmm.
and then about 50%, 48 to 50% so-called Africans, we all have what is called E1B1A haplogroup,
Yeah,
which is supposedly come from the Bantu, our Bantu connection.
West Africa,
Um,
right?
right. From
Okay,
East Africa into Central to West Africa. The Bantu did what is called um, the Bantu expansion.
got
And
you.
with that um, intermingling, they end up having the most dominant haplogroup in Africa and here in America.
Got you.
Now, many have stated that our connection here in America actually is older than Africa because, according to what we've been taught,
Mm-hmm.
find that E developed from D haplogroup, and D haplogroup was one of the oldest groups here in America, dating back to be almost from almost 200,000 years ago.
Oh wow.
So, that's part of the connection pieces that we have found. And of course, if you read the book, Ancient Mystic of Freemasonry, I think that's by Charles Vale.
Mm-hmm.
He states in the book that America is Atlantis.
Wow. I have heard that before.
Yes, he states that specifically that America is Atlantis. And so if America is Atlantis, then and then we have Plato who spoke about the fact that it was a land far off in which that the gods originated from. So
Mm,
this all correlates to the fact that this was called once the land of the immortal gods,
got
America.
you.
And this is in a book by Amaru Pinkham, Mark
Mm,
Amaru Pinkham, in his book called The Return of the Serpents of Wisdom.
mm,
And he's called America the land of the immortal gods, or the land of the immortal ones, in particular the plumed serpent. So that would be Kukulkan, that would be Kukumaz, that would be Amaru, that would be
mm,
Quetzalcoatl, that would be, many names. Biblically, that would be Enoch, which is Metatron, his angelic self.
I heard about that. Yeah.
That would be Tahuti in ancient Kemet, or Thoth in the Greek terminology.
Got you. Got you.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's deep. That's a lot of information right there, bro.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. So, are there ancient African myths that describe gateways or portals to these stars?
Yes, in particular, we have the Dogon, who left from out of Egypt about 8,000 years ago. And what they say is that the Nomos came from the star constellation Sirius.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Sirius is made up of three predominant stars called Sirius A, Sirius B, and Sirius C, which is Zigitolo, Amatolo, and Polotolo. So those three stars symbolizes that cluster of us arriving from there, as well as also portions of us coming from Orion, which Orion would be where the stars are born, which is called the Orion Nebula. And this is where the stars are born. So, in a sense, we return to the Sirius or Orion, which is known as Canis Major. And then when we incarnate, we come forth from where the stars are born. And scientists have found that 93% of our physical body is composed of stardust energy.
Got you.
So we come directly from the stars in that regard.
Got you.
Now the other 7% is supposed to be activated, which is simply the flesh suit or the avatar in which that we present ourselves with on the earth on a daily basis. We can actually transmute, transform, dematerialize this fleshly body by learning certain techniques, such as the rainbow body technique, known as the light body technique, the antimantium body technique, known as the celestial body, the incorruptible body. It has many names. Another way of doing it is what is called the Merkaba technique.
Okay.
So
what is that? Is that a form of meditation?
Yes, there's a form of meditation in which that you do certain mudras, which is hand positions. And with these hand positions, you utilize your chakra system in order to visualize a 3D dimensional 6-pointed star configuration or hexagram around the physical body.
Got you. And these questions I'm asking you is just trying to get into the origin and the ancestry, so we can have a basis for understanding. Which this is pretty dope information, because we have heard of the Zachariah Stitchins and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the Afro Uno writers, and he had Malachi who spoke about stuff like that. So
Eric von Daniken, Zachariah Sitchin, David Wilcock, and many others. With George Norrie, formerly Art Bell, and many others who come with the paranormal / UFO UAP information.
Got you. All right. So, did ancient African civilizations possess knowledge of interstellar travel?
Yes. And that's verified by the fact that the word Zulu means sky people.
Okay.
According to Credo Rutois, who he himself is a Bantu, he speaks of the fact of the Zulu people coming from Mars. And the reason why they're called the Star People, there was a incident in which that took place between Mars and Jupiter, in which that there was a planet that was destroyed. There was another planet here, which that was called Meldek. and
Okay.
its moon Malona. And there was a crossing of Nibiru in which that came through, in which that ended up destroying it. And with that destruction, created what we call the asteroid belt.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
And scientists will tell us to this very day that there was a 10th planet in this solar system, and it was between Jupiter and Mars. But
Oh
now
wow.
it is the asteroid belt. So therefore, it destroyed the surface of Mars. And by
Mm.
destroying the surface of Mars, what happened was is that those beings had to come here to Earth, and they formed what was called the Merkaba, which was the light body, or light
Mm.
vehicle. And the women came here after they was impregnated by the males on their planet, and the women came here and sought refuge here on planet Earth. There
Mhm.
is a remnants of them now in Africa, in which that is known as the ostrich people. They have feet like ostrich and also hands. In other
Wow.
words, there's toes and fingers in which that are fused together, in which that give the appearance of ostrich. Um, a good representation of this would be from Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He said the people on Mars looked like us, but yet was a little bit different in the sense that they walked on hinds. In other words, they walked with their feet. Their feet was different than ours, but they was melanated. They they were so-called dark-skinned people.
Mm. Got you. I believe I,
Mhm.
I heard something like that on a lecture from may he rest in peace, Delbert Blair,
Yes.
was saying that
Yeah.
he according to him that he had come in contact with extraterrestrial, and the extraterrestrial had phenotype of an African American, which you would
Right.
consider a black
Right.
person.
And his people came from Jupiter.
Oh,
Right. He
wow.
spoke of two brothers who came from Jupiter that he met while he was attending a conference um, back in the 1960s.
Really? Whoa, yo.
Mhm.
All right. So how does oral tradition preserve hidden knowledge about cosmic ancestry?
Well, based on the fact that we have American tribes, African tribes, and Australian tribes, in which they all speak about the fact of dealing with uh, extraterrestrials
Okay.
here, here on planet Earth, as well as also um, telling us where they come from.
Mm,
Okay.
really? So these tribes, like these indigenous tribes, will, like I have seen on like Discovery Channel back in the days, like they would have like their own hieroglyphics on the wall.
Right.
Like that's um the symbols, but I have yet to heard of any like oral traditions, things passed down of certain how should I put it, extraterrestrial type of beings they spoke
Right.
of.
Right. Well, we have the Navajo
Mm-hmm.
and the Apache and several other American tribes in which they do speak about the fact is that when there was a um, disaster in which that occurred on the planet Earth, they was taken underground for protection by the ant people and by the snake people.
Okay.
Now, the ant people, of course, are the Greys, and the snake people are the reptilians.
Mm. We
And they
gotta
speak,
come back more on that.
yeah, and they speak about this fact. They speak about it within their oral traditions and in their teachings. In which they do pass down to their children.
Got you. So being that we're touching on that in relation to DNA,
Right.
um, how do ancestors communicate through DNA memory?
Well, It's real simple. It's called epigenetics. It's also
Mm-hmm.
called morphogenetics. Morphogenetics is the template or field in which that help form the physical body into existence. And epigenetics deals with the fact is that your DNA is malleable. In other words, you can change your DNA. You can open or awaken your DNA by certain words, lights, sound, as we would say, or frequencies, vibrations. And
Mm-hmm.
these things can actually put you on another level and give you communicational skills to the ancestors.
Really?
Yep.
And
One
are
of
any,
the
any
mhm.
stimulants? Any stimulants can be used, like certain herbs, train.
The herbs in which that can be used is called iboga, 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 with a mixture of mushrooms.
Mm, mm,
Okay.
gotcha. Wow, got you. All right. Is the concept of the Stargate DNA connected to the ideas of light codes?
Yes. Yes, definitely. Light codes, light itself symbolizes um traveling of knowledge, knowledge that travels to you. For example, 5 years ago, we spoke about the fact of Beetlejuice or Beetlegeese, how we want to pronounce it, in which that was sitting in the right shoulder of Orion, which symbolizes the man upstairs, as we would say. The word Orion means heaven. And
Mm,
it symbolizes that right shoulder, that right star, which is a red star. It exploded, and the light in which that traveled from that star came to the planet. So this is the reason why they had to put us under a state of fear, so that we wouldn't be able to absorb that frequency.
mm.
So they came up with the pandemic.
I
Okay,
got you.
right, and they came up with that plan in order to make sure. And this is why they told us to stay inside the house,
Hmm.
because they knew that these rays was coming down in order to solidify our messiahship, our Christ consciousness.
Mm. Go ahead.
So if you taking the jab and you doing all these things, you're now padding, because that's what they found out is that when a person took the jab um, and they analyzed the person, it was green, number one, in the beginning, and then there was blood clots in which that oftentimes in which that will form, and these blood clots would be long, thin blood clots within the body in which that eventually will cause heart attacks, strokes, all
Hmm.
types of things in which that occurred, health issues. So this was them destroying the so-called Black Messiah or the Black Messiahs. And so they have another plan to do it again. And with them talking about um, this EI Atlas,
EI
which is
Atlas. Can you
yeah,
elaborate on that? What is
yeah,
it?
the AI Atlas, I should say AI or EI Atlas. This is a ship in which that they are claiming, which they say that is different than the common because it don't have a tail. So they say, so a Harvard professor, Loeb, he said that it has to be a spaceship, some type of
Mhm.
ship, and it's traveling 130,000 miles per hour.
Wow. I heard
And
about
it's
that.
coming here and will be here by October the 29th this month, going into October the 30th.
Hmm. I
And
heard
on
about
this
that.
ship, he states that there are beings that's on this ship in which that looks African American. This is
I
what
keep.
this is what is said by um scientists. One of the first ones to break this information down of him seeing these so-called black extraterrestrials were a person who worked at NASA and NACA. His name is Norman Bertram, and he's being interviewed by a European lady or Albion lady who asked him the question, well, how did these beings look? And he said black. And she said they was dark skinned. He said no, black.
I think I seen that on TikTok. I heard about that.
Right. And she asked him then, well, how tall were they? He said, well, we talking about the door, they had to be at least 7 feet tall, at least. But I mean, we talking about 7 to 9 feet tall. So this is coming from somebody who said this, and then there's another report in which that I believe was on Coast to Coast, which was under George Norrie, in which that spoke about the time when Ronald Reagan, which I remember I was in the 5th grade when Ronald Reagan said this. Well, if me and Gorbachev ever had to put down ID, come together, and by us coming together, there would be an off-world threat. It would be wise that we come together, and and he was talking like this, and he was talking about UFOs and all types of shit.
I remember that speech.
Yeah,
I remember that speech. He said we put aside our differences if we had an external enemy that's outside of our realm.
Right, outside of the Earth, and it would be a threat. Me and Gorbachev would have to come together and all of that type of thing. And I was like, yo, hold up. So, for the president to come, I mean, and really, he's the only president that ever went that far and said something like that in a speech nationally, a nationwide speech, not just nation, but worldwide speech. He added in, another country, everybody would have to come together, type of thing.
Sounds like Independence Day movie.
Right, exactly. So we're looking at the possibilities of them using Project Bluebeam as well as also man-made UFOs. Okay. And then of course blaming it being that they already said these are African Americans or black people, blaming that on us, in which that they would start what is called SPARS, which is a if you go to John Hopkins Hospital and if you go to the CDC, we talking about this zombie / type of respiratory ailment in which that could possibly take place.
Wow.
They had the zombie report done, which was actually years ago. It was about maybe we talking about more than 10 years ago. With this zombie apocalypse, what would take place. And you can actually pull this up. It's 8888. If you just put that into the engine search, zombie apocalypse 8888, you can actually pull that up on PDF. And we got CDC talking about a damn zombie attacks, and how to prepare for it. And then we got John Hopkins Hospital as well as also CDC talking about SPARS, SPARS, in which that is very similar to COVID, but SPARS would actually kill not just older people like the COVID-19 did or coronavirus.
Don't say that on here. They go flag you for that.
I'm sorry.
Nah, you good. You good. Just call it 19. To 19.
Right. 19. Yeah. 19. So we got that coming out. That they trying to all add together. all at the same time.
You said spars, right? I don't know if anybody in the chat do chime in if you remember. Remember the Commander X
Got it
books?
right here. Go down the hall. Look. Yep. Say it again, God.
Remember the Commander X books? If people in the chat
Yeah,
watching this
yeah,
comment, I remember there was an article. I
yeah.
read
The
this, and
Ashtar fleet, the Ashtar command.
yeah, I must have been like 14, and I read one of his books, and it spoke of a foreign virus like worm like thing that will go through your body, it'll spawn out your head. And I remember I was like, yo, damn.
Right.
What Commander X talking about? He's talking about a particular virus. And I was like, it's kind of wild. Ask your question, legal justification. Yeah, but I remember that. And I used to be like, damn, so this stuff is not too far fetched. Because before I used to
No, it's
be
not.
I used to be reluctant about getting into this stuff. Like, I don't know about
Right,
that, you know, but
right, right. Exactly.
it's
Exactly.
possible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everything is possible because Bill Gates and his wife Melinda were sitting on a couch, and this was during the time of the 19, and they said out their mouth that okay, y'all didn't believe the first one, 19, but y'all will
Mhm.
believe the second one, and they started giggling. This actually was on the video,
This is wild. This is wild.
and there was no AI. This was them.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So, in relation to our people, what role does melanin play in spiritual communication with the cosmos?
Well, when we look at melanin, melanin is able to absorb light, color, sound, as well as also thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So it is the perfect vibratory, the perfect rhythmic system that you can ever have. Melanin is part of what we call black energy and dark matter. It is
Got you.
part of the triple stage darkness that is spoken of within the Holy Quran. It is
Mm,
the triple stage darkness in which that is the three trimester periods within the woman's womb.
mm,
All
I
right.
got
So
that.
it is Ein Sof, and Ein Sophie within the Kabbalah or Kabbalistic teachings.
Mm-hmm. I got you. So, hold. Somebody want to ask
Mhm.
a question. I wanted to ask. They say to respect Dr. Aleem. Wanted to ask, what do you think we Moors or Israelites or Moors or Israelites the Bible speak of? I don't know what you're trying to say, brother, but
Yeah.
it's
Well,
not.
I know what you're talking about. The Moors, the ancient Egyptians, especially the
Mm-hmm.
Ramesses 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, as well as
Mm-hmm.
also um, the Moors who are known as the Caliphate of Cordoba,
Mm-hmm.
as well as also the Hebrew Israelites, in which that we are from that holy bloodline, and all three of these um, groups, as we refer to them, had what is called E1B1A, which is the haplogroup in which that is known as the chosen people. And the reason why we are the chosen people is because we are the only ones in which that has that E1B1A, which is a agreeable, positive haplogroup, as compared to all the other haplogroups are negative and
Got you.
disagreeable. So this is the reason why we are the chosen people, is because of the agreeableness within our DNA, within our E1B1A haplogroup system.
Mm. I have heard of haplogroups before, and then, you know, when you speak of haplogroups, it dates the
Right,
beings to a particular time, maybe going back millions of years ago. So when I hear that, I'm
right,
like, wow, like, people tend to fantasize and they try to gatekeep and weaponize DNA by saying, "Oh, we're indigenous," but I'm like, everyone on Earth could be indigenous, especially Black people, not
right,
just
right, right,
what you
right,
consider a
right,
certain,
right,
indigenous and Indian like tribe.
right. Well,
It's
see,
very.
indigenous means to be sprung forth from the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so as the oldest people on the planet Earth, there's only one group in which that fits that characteristic. and that's us.
Mhm.
Everyone else, um, well, the Albion European, he was test tube baby. He's made in the laboratory. Um, he's been modified many times. And we can speak of the actual individuals when they speak of Yakub, which is the Nation Islam, Nation Gods and Earth, 5% of teachings.
Mhm.
Um, the Yakub is actually Yakub Ker or Yakub Her, which was the 14th, 15th dynastic pharaoh of ancient Kemet.
I got you. I see the comment section, brothers. I respect what y'all trying to say, but we're not on that topic at the moment. You can come back when Ron has that. And salute to y'all. Peace to the Israelites. Peace to the Moors. Peace to the nation of God's of earth. Nation of Islam. Shalom. Peace to everyone. But we're not here trying to debate who are the original people, what came first, the chicken or the egg. But salute to all you guys. All right. Does ancestral Stargate DNA explain deep intuition amongst Black people?
Yes, and actually that's because of the melanin content in our two systems. Our instincts is basically at what we now call the solar plexus. Our quote unquote intuition is at the third eye level, which is the
Mm-hmm.
sixth chakra level, the all eye seeing supreme being, or
Mm-hmm.
the seeing eye, the all seeing eye, which is specifically the pineal gland. All right. So these solar plexus and the pineal gland, the third eye chakra, those two symbolizes the place of instincts and intuition. So a melanated person, when you feel like butterflies in your stomach, or you just say, I got a gut feeling,
Mm-hmm.
that's your instincts. But then when you just know something off the rip and you just saying to yourself, yo, I seen this somewhere. Yo, this is deep. Yo, this is like deja vu. Blah, blah, blah. That's your intuition.
Got you. I got you. Now, and
Yeah,
that's peace right there. And peace again. Peace to the panel. Everybody's trying to get to you. They want to ask you questions, Aleem. If you don't mind, if you want to answer some questions,
yeah, yeah,
so,
yeah. I answered some questions.
shoot away your questions, man. But everybody trying to get through. I'm getting like 100 people trying to get through. Like, that are fans of you. They honor you. So it's a pleasure to have you on this platform.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Definitely, man. And again, I want them to think I'm trying to keep them out because they were like, "Oh, come on, man."
Right, 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 right. Well, bring them on in.
You know what I'm saying? They just want to know. Oh God. All right. So I have one right here. Is are spiritual initiations methods of unlocking cosmic DNA?
Yes, exactly. That's the purpose of initiations. Whether you go through um the 5%, back in the days, if we didn't know the lesson, you got a universal beatdown.
Oh God,
that
bro.
that was it. That was the initiation. Um, when you become a Freemason, you go through initiation, which is the resurrection of Osiris ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, um, we can go on and on. You go into the Rosicrucians. Each degree you have to go through a particular ritual or rite in which that you're dealing with candles, and you're dealing with a white cloth, and so forth and so on, and you are communion, not just with the ancestors, but you going into the sanctuary, that type of thing. So there's many initiation. Golden Dawn, they do
Mm-hmm.
um geometrical hand signs in the air, you know, in order to, present, that energy to put, make that energy come forth. And they say certain words and chants and so forth and so on. So, we
Yeah.
can go on with the so-called secret societies and what they do in order to usher energy in, and it is all through initiation. The greatest and probably the best initiation, we talk about probably in Voodoo or Ifa,
Mm-hmm.
Yoruba, in which that Palomayombe or any of those Congo rites, where you have to do divination.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you might have to get some sand from a graveyard,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever the case is. You have to do certain things,
Yeah.
and each, uh,
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening. I said, yeah, I agree
yeah,
with you.
yeah, and each ritual symbolizes you going to another level of consciousness. So yes,
Got you. Got you. We don't get back to that, but
yeah,
legal,
it's all
legal,
around.
legal been asking this in the chat. Legal, I see you, brother. We didn't forget you. He said, could he ask the elder, does he think about Genesis 25 in regards to the birth of the white man? Noble Drew Ali said not to throw your Bibles away.
Yeah, don't throw your Bibles away. In fact, the reason why is because the first thing, when you go into court and you have to do a trial, and if you have to testify, they're going to ask you to put your hand on this Bible, put
Mm-hmm.
your right hand on this Bible, raise your left hand, and testify. Or put your left hand, excuse me, put your left hand on the Bible, put your right hand up, and you testify.
Mm-hmm.
That what you're saying is true, factual, and so forth and so on. I mean, of course, you can do a Jack Nicholson and say you can't handle the truth,
Mm.
you know, but that is definitely um one of the reasons why don't throw it away, the scriptures, and also genealogy, because
Mm.
even though we might say that these people did not exist as the names in which that we utilize, because of course we know that there was no J before 1500, so there is no Jesus. His name would have been Yahshua or
Mhm.
Yahoshua, Aramaic or Old Hebrew, Paleo Hebrew. Um, so we know that that would be that would have been his name. So it definitely was not Jesus. Jesus did not exist. Just like y'all made up the letter J,
Mm.
just like they made up the letter J in the 1500s. You know,
Mhm.
um, Arabic name would be Isa.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Easily. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
right,
Another
right,
question
right,
from Legal.
right.
Legal's hitting the comments. I see you, Legal. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, Legal. And we got super chats. He say, I know God said in the Bible the white man's name is Esau.
Right,
Yeah, and then he came out
right. Well,
red all over like a hairy oh bro, hairy
right,
garment. I'm curious.
right, right. Well, he was reddish. His hair was reddish, and so what we have is that yes, he was very hairy. You know, that is probably because of certain things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know of a hairy African in which that went into a cold climate.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it was from out of Africa where it wasn't cold, but went into the Caucasus Mountains and developed um, hirutism, but hirutism, which is additional hair on the body, and so much
Mm-hmm.
so that they thought that she was a Sasquatch or Bigfoot.
Mm.
You know, um,
Yeah, I heard
so
that.
yeah, so that is a story in which that symbolizes the Esau, um, mythology, or what is happened. You know, Jacob supposedly um became the firstborn son by way of Esau giving up his birthright for red porridge,
Mhm.
for food, because he was hungry from a hunt, and because he was hungry, he said, "Yeah, you can have it here. Make me some of them red beans," you know, and
Definitely.
yeah, and so that's how Jacob supposedly became um later on Israel, in which they we get the Israelites from, was from that, you know, God being a trickster, Ishua Legba, the trickster God. Um,
Mm.
you know, within the Native American tribes, if you belong to the Wolf clan, that's the trickster God. you
Got you.
know,
Got you.
uh, so on and on. This is throughout um, our teachings, whether it's here in America, Africa, Australia, etc.
Got you. So next, this question I have right here: are the pyramids aligned to activate ancestral DNA frequencies?
Yes, it is. And if you go to Kemet or Tamaray or Tamari, um, the the one allegedly in the east, some now understand that is in the west, and we are in the east. But
Mhm.
we know that Heru Marquette, which is the Sphinx, is the Lord of both horizons. So the
Mm.
two horizons symbolizes the east and the west. So shall the Son of Man be, as the Bible says. So in the largest pyramid there on the Giza Plateau is Khufu or Cheops. And at the top, they have what is known as a sarcophagus. And you can actually lay in that sarcophagus and chant certain
Mm.
tones like or
Mhm.
whatever the case is, and that will help just not not just to align you, your physical body, but anybody who's in the vicinity. It will help to align them, as well as also give off energy. If the capstone, this is the reason why they took the capstones off the pyramids, and why the capstones are in places such as the British Museum, why the capstone is in um, the Egypt Museum, and now the Grand Museum of Egypt. Why these capstones are there, is because those capstones symbolize the fact of being able to send out and transmit these vibrations to the world. And so we have more mounds and pyramids here in the Americas than there are in Africa. We're
Mm.
talking about at one time over 2 million pyramids and mounds,
Hmm.
okay, which went down to 200,000 before they started doing their infrastructure to what we now see today, building their infrastructure, the roads, and tearing out um, pyramids and monuments and temples, and as well as mounds down. Now there's about 20,000 mounds and pyramids in which that still exists.
Mm.
Okay, so
Damn.
that is still more than allegedly in which that is in Africa, or that has been stated that has been more than in Africa. Of course, you would have to go throughout all of Africa, which is you know many times the size of the United States, more than five
Mhm.
times the size of the United States, in order to rectify that situation, or that particular number.
I got you. That's deep right there. That's a dream right there to do. Do symbols like the Ankh represent DNA codes?
Oh, definitely, because the Ankh symbolizes the top portion is the uterus, the womb, and then the
Mhm.
bottom part symbolizes the phallus, going into the vaginal canal in order to bring forth. That's the meeting point. That's the reason why for the cross portion um, into the cervix slash what we now refer to as the uterus or womb area where life is born. And actually there will be a dot that will be inserted in the middle or in the center of the
Mm-hmm.
okay, in which that symbolize life coming forth from the dot in which that spilt forth into um that particular womb.
Got you. Got you. See how much time we got left. We got about 5 minutes. So before we get up out of here, there's one question somebody wants to ask before we get up out of here. Is this: how are the pyramids going to help our people? How are the pyramids fixing the conditions that our people are in? What's the actual cure for the things that we go through? You asked me
The
the host.
pyramid,
All
the
right.
pyramid.
Wait, I think
Oh,
he's
actually, the
asking
whole.
me. Yeah, he asking
Oh,
me. To me, let me tell you, you can't know your destiny or your future without knowing your past. And again, I want to make this clear: not everyone that's melanated came from Egypt. Many of us came from West Africa, and these sciences are what are used in these so-called secret societies, fraternities. The geometry of it, the knowledge of it, is all about symbols and knowing how to build. You understand what I'm saying? Because even in your words, you're building 5% of they build. You got to start with a base. The pyramid has a base. You build from there, and then there goes your pyramid. Everything
right,
is scientific, so there's a lot more to it.
exactly.
And he asked me, "Do I think we're Egyptians?" I'm not. You feel? I don't guess you. I believe you didn't hear what I said. I said not all of us are Egyptian, and not
Right,
only Egyptians had pyramids. People got that
right,
misconception of that. There are
right,
many
right, right,
civilizations out there that had pyramids.
right. The Sudanese, who are the Nubians, they first
Mm-hmm.
began with the um pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
According to many books, such as the Wonderful Ethiopians of the Ancient Kushite Empire by Drusilla Houston. She speaks about
Exactly.
that. So we can go on and on. Here in America, the Olmecs had pyramids and mounds in which that they built, and it was Nubian Egyptian. So yes, we
Mm-hmm.
are Egyptians in that regard because we come from the Olmecs. Well, I mean, how
Yep.
else could I have Ramesses the third DNA? How could I
Mm-hmm.
have Ramesses the third DNA if I was just West African? Because that's East Africa according to the maps.
Of course.
You know,
And back to that all that ancient wisdom, people don't understand. All that you see is happening to us today.
right,
These people are using your own mathematics, your own science, your own technology against you.
right,
So at the end of the day, I don't know what to tell you. They'll make you resent and reject your own culture, your own spiritual
mhm,
practices, call it demonic and devil, and give you something else. Meanwhile, they busy studying you.
right,
That so-called white man is studying you and kicking everyone in the ass. So there goes
exactly,
your answer right there. I'm gonna just keep it very brief and respectful.
right.
With that being said, my brother Aleem Bey, I gotta have you to come back with a part 2 for this, man.
All right, right, no problem,
But
definitely.
definitely, I appreciate you for coming out tonight, for showing love and honor and respect to you because you've been putting in work for like 2-3 decades out here, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
I remember
yeah.
back in days VHS tapes before it was YouTube. You had to go see Aleem downtown Brooklyn,
Right.
LI University. You got to go sit down, buy a ticket, wait in the rain, go to the table, and the brother's doing great things. He has a store. He's selling herbs. He has books. Any new book?
A vegan and smoothie restaurant.
Oh yeah, vegan.
Um, right, right. Yeah, we doing it. We doing it. We trying to do everything that we possibly can to keep this thing going and our people going. The
Definitely.
new book.
Hmm.
I have several books. I have United Washita Language, in which that is ready to go. I have Is Benjamin Banneker really Prince Hall? I have
Hmm.
that ready to go. I have Out of the Womb, Into the Mind, which is another book. I have that ready to go. So I have The Kingdom of God,
Mhm.
the book in which that is ready, you know. So I have many books in which that are ready. It's just determining which one I'm gonna put out next.
All right, then, my brother. I appreciate that. We gotta jump on the next show. Peace and love,
All right.
Aleem.
Peace
I
and
hit
love.
you up. Salute, brother.
Right.
And with that being said, we out, people. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, super chats. Check us out. NYP. Peace.
Peace.